These videos are going to be a little chopped up. I was kind of making one long one, but it didn't end up working out. So I'm just going to chop it into a bunch of smaller ones. They're going to be a little jumbled, but you'll get the main gist of it. So, but check out my other videos on the build progress if you want to see how it got to here. Alrighty, so I'm having a couple problems here today. So I'm going to take the dash apart and the steering wheel. I'm going to replace the headlight switch here and the turn signal switch lever. Going to grab in here, kind of just gently pull out this whole trim piece. It'll come out pretty easy. Seems like this will come off separate. Gently pull. All right. So contrary to other videos I've seen, I'm just going to leave this in park. So I'm going to leave that in park. It seems like it's the easiest way. I'm going to have to disconnect this switch here. Lights. And then this switch that I'm replacing, going to have to reach in there. Looks like a little tab. Maybe press that little tab there. That's free. And I believe the whole thing should be free. I'm leaving it in park. Alright, let me get two hands on this. It is free now, but I'm going to need both hands to take it out properly. Under the steering wheel column, there is a screw, a T25 head screw in here and right here. This one's a little bit of a pain. I just pulled down on this front corner right here, and this popped off. And now that can be taken out. Careful to not mess up the hooks in the back on both sides. Unfortunately, this guy does not tilt, so that's a pain. That off. Okay. Come on. There it is. Alright. So, now, this screw here, I got it off with a 5/32 regular socket bit. It is a, I guess you would call it Torx type. Not sure what you call that. But anyways, it comes off with a 5/32. There's one right there. And the other one is all the way up here, kind of by the lock cylinder, all the way at the top. So we took those two out. Now, kind of gotta press this around. Whoops, weren't seeing anything there. So now you gotta press this around, get this out from behind there carefully. So you can kind of pry it up. Alright, in order to remove the lock cylinder, what you need to do to remove these plastic pieces, I took a cheapo 90-degree pick there, and there's a hole. Make sure your battery's disconnected, by the way. And there's a hole. Come on, focus. It's too dark in there. Focus, please. There it is. See the hole there? Where am I at? Yoo-hoo. Alright, right there. Right there is the hole where you put this pick in. You gotta put it in the start position. You gotta put your key in, make sure the battery's off, in the start position all the way over to where you're cranking. And then you're gonna push that down, and it's gonna come out a hair, and then let it go back to the on position, and then you can just pull the whole lock cylinder right out. Pull that out in one piece. Set that aside. Now you can take that piece off, no problem. There is 2 screws I found after a lot of searching right here in these slots behind the steering wheel. It takes a T20 Torx. So you gotta turn the wheel one way, and now you gotta muscle it the other way. So you can just be able to get a screwdriver in there. I'm gonna need both hands for this, but those 2 screws right there you're gonna have to take out. Okay, so thank you to the GMC Topkick group and Kodiak group on Facebook. There's also what I didn't notice earlier. See down there? This is the back of the screw hole that I took out earlier with the T20 hex. And right here, this hole, this square one, you put a flathead screwdriver through there, and you reach all the way to here, and you twist it, and it moves this clip out of the way, which rides in the slot. And then you can remove your steering wheel on both sides, top and bottom. So then, once that's out, you pull this thing back, and this pulls straight off the back of here. Again, make sure the battery is off. Set that in a nice spot. I used a 21mm socket and took that off, bolt for the steering wheel. I twisted this to the right and unplugged it. This is the positive for the horn, and I believe that should be it, because this wire stays put. Got a couple, I believe this is 3/8/16 to go in there. Got the steering wheel puller, and gonna take it out. So it took a little bit of force, but it finally broke loose. These obviously are not the screws that you're supposed to use. I don't know where they are, but these are what I found. So they don't thread in too far, because the thread's maybe a ½ inch deep in there. So just got these turn in there as deep as they could. Tight in the middle. It was a little wobbly because it's not the proper setup, but that should be it. I'm going to use both hands for this and be careful. The steering wheel came right off. Take that piece out, and now looks like I might have to undo this guy so I can get to those screws there. Oh, duh. Looks like that snap ring right there. Yeah. So I'm going to take that snap ring off. So I removed that snap ring back in there, the pliers, and cut zippy ties down here for the airbag wire. Just gonna set that in there to chill, and now I believe I can finally replace this module here. So, as it turns out, I only had to take off this top screw and this one in the front. The one in the front is right here, and the one on the top should be right there. Then I undid a 7mm screw holding this connector in. I guess you don't have to do that, but it kind of made it a little easier. I could bring it down, and then inside of there was another 7mm screw that holds this whole big connector in. So you unscrew that, and this comes out by pushing out the front, but there's a little tab there. So all you gotta do is stick a flat head in the back, kind of like this. Hold on, let me get it there, then I'll show you. So you stick a flat head in the back like this, and the top. Let me get it out. Pry it. I don't know if you've seen that, but I just barely twisted it, and then it pushed right out. So now, here's the old switch, here's the new one, and here's the new guy. I'm going to put in its place. Make sure the pins line up real quick, or make sure they all look similar. And then I'm going to throw it in. Now that just freaking flew together. Now that I went through all these problems today. So my stepdad actually has a set of these snap-on, it's like a reverse Torx type deal. Earlier I said use a 5/32 to get those off, which does work, but the proper tool is those snap-on, I don't even know what they're called, but anyways, those work well. For this post, I used a pair of pliers to hang onto it. Sometimes that spins back there.